there are ways to explain how Khan Noonien Singh, Ricardo Montalban, recognizes Commander Pavel Chekov, Walter Koenig, in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Directed by Nicholas Meyer and released in 1982, The Wrath of Khan was a cinematic sequel to the classic Star Trek, the original series Season 1 episode, Space Seed, which introduced the genetically engineered warlord Khan, setting the stage for Montalban's iconic character to become one of Star Trek's greatest villains. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan contains an enduring plot hole that has long flummoxed Star Trek fans. When Chekov and Captain Clark Tell, Paul Winfield, beam onto Ceti Alpha V, believing it's Ceti Alpha 6, they meet Khan, who was marooned almost 20 years before by Captain James T. Kirk, William Shatner, and the USS Enterprise. Khan tells Chekov, "I never forget a face," recognizing the Russian Starfleet officer even though Walter Koenig doesn't join Star Trek, the original series, as Ensign Chekov until Season 2. Even though Chekov hadn't appeared yet, he was likely aboard the Enterprise during Space Seed. Chekov officially appeared in Star Trek, the original series Season 2. Khan and Chekov in Star Trek Wrath of Khan. Although Khan recognizing Chekov has been considered a plot hole for decades, a more reasonable explanation is that Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan retconned Star Trek, the original series, Space Seed, so that Ensign Chekov was already aboard the USS Enterprise. Chekov's first on-screen appearance was in Star Trek, the original series Season 2, but that doesn't mean the young Russian ensign didn't previously join Captain Kirk's crew to commandeer the Starship Enterprise. Khan studied its technical manuals. It's logical to assume the genetically engineered genius also perused the Enterprise's crew manifest. How else would Khan know exactly who he and his followers would be up against when they took over the ship? Even if Khan and Chekov never met face-to-face in Star Trek, the original series, the augmented tyrant could have recalled the young ensign from his Starfleet personnel file. Walter Koenig has his own explanation for Khan recognizing Chekov. Where Chekov was during Space Seed, according to Walter Koenig. Chekov hung over Star Trek VI. Walter Koenig pointed out the plot hole of Khan recognizing Chekov early during the production of Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. In the decade since, Koenig has fielded fans' questions about how Khan knew Chekov countless times, and he has concocted many humorous tongue-in-cheek explanations, including one Walter gave to Screen Rant during our interview about Koenig joining the Seventh Rule podcast. See Walter's quote below. However, Walter Koenig's joking rationale essentially backs the idea that Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan retconned when Ensign Chekov joined the USS Enterprise during Star Trek, the original series. Chekov must have already been aboard when the Enterprise intercepted Khan's ship, the SS Botany Bay. After all, the Starship Enterprise's crew complement numbers 400 Starfleet officers, so it's understandable if a young Ensign Chekov didn't begin to assert himself until Star Trek, the original series Season 2, when he began serving on Captain Kirk's bridge. Chekov was the final piece of Star Trek's original cast puzzle. Ensign Chekov injected youth into the USS Enterprise's crew. Retcons aside, Walter Koenig didn't join Star Trek, the original series cast as Ensign Chekov until Season 2, but Pavel was the missing piece of classic Star Trek's puzzle. As Chekov, Koenig injected youth into Star Trek's ensemble, since every other Enterprise main character was a seasoned professional in their 30s or older. Chekov was a welcome replacement for recurring characters like Lieutenant Kevin Riley, Bruce Hyde, who appeared in Star Trek, the original series Season 1.